Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarKives, the KarQ Archives, my second channel. This is where I upload my coaching and gameplay videos. It's just another place to upload content that isn't like my normally produced stuff that you see on the main channel. In order to get your gameplay reviewed, come to the stream at twitch.tv/KarQ, watch enough of it, accumulate loyalty points, and you can also redeem it for 50,000 stream points. So today we have gameplay submitted by Kairos2, in chat name karisowsupport, I believe. And let's see what we can do to pick out some of this Ana gameplay on Rialto. Pick out on mistakes. Pick on mistakes.
The story of my
whatever.
life.
What's a better word for it? Help them out. At the time of this recording, it is currently September 9th, 2020. If you see this on the KarKives, this is probably going to be uploaded early November at this point. So say hi to yourself in 2 months, chat, down below here. Send yourself a message you want to say to yourself in 2 months when you see it, if you decide to watch this again. Okay. This current patch still sees a lot of Hog Zarios. This is what you probably have noticed. I don't know the rank of this player at this time, but for those who are watching this on the KarKives, obviously you'll see the rank. You have a Baptiste. Ooh, this is the patch where Baptiste got nerfed significantly, so the AoE healing won't be as much. Baptiste will probably be a bit more DPS heavy. You're probably gonna have to keep up your tanks. Let's see. Okay, we're red. You're red team. Nice unscoped shots. By the way, for those who are watching this live on the stream in chat, we'll guess the rank of this player after together. Okay, you saw him got hooked and you went for the nade right away. I like that. I just gotta get used to the fact that you're healing red. It's throwing me off. Nice, you got the quick scopes down. Honestly, nothing to say so far. Team fight's breaking out and you're kind of just responding to everything. That's fine. Kind of moving up with them. Your team has control here. Oh, you gotta push that cart. Or your Baptiste is pushing. So you can come around this corner. Your Doom is scouting left. Okay, that's important. Okay, so here's something to remember. It's important. I'm sure you know this, but for everybody else who's watching this as a learning point, especially if you have downtime after winning a fight and you know they're going to contest a second time, just make sure either you or your teammates are like checking all the other angles. If your Doomfist didn't go here and like was playing here along with everybody else and you're back here, you have to have that recognition to be like, no one's checking if they're going to come this way. So you have to be wary of a flank. But the fact that your Doom went here helps out a lot. But just as an awareness thing, as a support player, just make sure all the popular choke points are at least accounted for in some way. If there's a teammate here, they can at least call it out, or if you see him fighting, you know there's some enemies coming this way. Because as a support, you're kind of just exposed a lot of the time, right? So your Doom is calling it there. He's controlling that. You could technically still get flanked, but I think you'll be fine. Oh, Doom is there. So, okay, so Doom came to the front. I heard a monkey jump. Is he behind you? Where the fuck was that monkey? Am I tripping? Yeah, see? Oh, he is there. Okay, maybe your Baptiste called it. Oh, your Baptiste was pressuring us. So I'm happy your Baptiste had that recognition and forced him out. Now that monkey just... Look at that. Holy shit. Did you see? I'm not commenting on what you did, but like, that's something you guys can be aware of as a support. You always recognize the threats. I heard that monkey. I didn't see you respond to a Kairos, but I think you should have at least checked. I don't know what the comms were, but maybe if your Baptiste told you that like the monkey's behind and you were aware of it, that's fine. But in case you weren't, usually if I'm in the backline, I do turn around and at least put a shot onto anybody I see behind, so they're pressured. Do you see how that Baptiste put a couple of shots on the monkey trying to flank you guys? That 3 shots alone forced this monkey to go all the way down here, grab a mini health pack, and he's still here. If nobody looked at him, he would have just chilled here for his next jump and already been on you guys. But the fact that your Baptiste turned around was very heads up, and it delayed him by like 15 seconds. And that's something you can do as well. If your Baptiste didn't do it, that would have been your job. But that's just what that presence of mind and that sort of the whole like meme where you're like a DPS Moria, DPS support, it can go a long way because you just completely change the spacing. Like this Winston can't comfortably jump in. He doesn't have his primal and he's already at half health, so that's good. Yeah, he called him out? Okay, that's good. You guys don't think this is plat? Too smart for plat? Yeah, this is not plat. This is already better. You got the mechanics. You can see how the general positioning relative to the context of the fight has been pretty good. Yeah, like your Zarya's like solo fighting, so you peek out to heal because you know your Doomfist is deep. And he's dead. Look at all the space you have here, right? Okay. So you play around this box. Your Hog's the only one here. Okay, now if your Hog leaves, yeah, your payload's coming around the corner. You have to rotate to the right a little bit because now you got to make sure your tanks are up there. You can consider nanoing here. I would have actually nanoed Doom just because he just came back. I mean, your Hog does have whole Hog, but there's nothing to combo it. Okay, never mind. He's getting a pretty decent whole Hog. I would have nanoed Hog first, but if you saw that Doom, I probably would have went for the Doom instead, but it's fine. Because Hog's ultimate's easily cancelable, versus Doom is a bit more reliable. Like, obviously, if he gets the full thing off, you're good. Oh my god. Get him. Get him. Get him! Nice. Oh yeah, you got taunt. I respect it. Nice shots. This is good. You haven't died yet? Other than the awareness of the people coming behind, like there's nothing much to point out. Just teaching moments to kind of just remember for future. Even though if you already knew it, just like reminding you.
Escorting the payload. Watching your back.
Nice quick scopes. The quick scope mechanics are good. Knowing when to scope, you're safe to scope here. Solid. Is a grab. Too early on the nade, I think. They're still kind of full. I think you maybe could have waited half a second, but that's not gonna like make or break. I think you guys get wiped anyways because you already blew your BAP blew the lamp and you got antied anyways. But usually if my team gets grabbed, I'll like assess for like half a second to see if they actually even have the follow up to do anything.
Rendezvous at my position.
Payload stopped. Not exactly what we thought. Be wary.
Wait, that's your Genji. You're red. Okay, whatever, it's downtime anyways. Nothing bad has come from this yet. Nice quick scopes. Okay, this is just a wash. You're gonna have to back up here. Move to the right right now. I mean, you probably would have gotten staggered anyways, but like the moment they get grabbed and 2 die, you might have been able to prevent an extra death there, maybe. Not the end of the world, but I guess just recognizing when the team fight is lost there, 100%. Okay, you see the Zarya, you heal the Sigma, that's fine. Your teammates just staggering like crazy here. And you're kind of stuck being a heal bot. You can't really look for an aggressive play. Oh, there's one. Your Doom called that. He was going in. Good nano on the Doom. I like that. See, this is where comms would come in. If nobody was communicating, I would have just like waited for the respawn, but maybe your Doom was calling, he was going in, then your Zarya called in that game. So that's relative to the context of your teammates. That was good. Heads up play. Okay, I like how you're staying out here. Awareness. This is usually where I would typically play too in this context. You heal the Doom because he's low. You go for a nade here. I would just chuck one. You have too many critical teammates there. I think you held onto the nade way too long there. I think the moment... No one called anything here, right? No one called shit? Yeah. Like... The grab comes out. Your Doom is kind of low. He's killing that Ana. Couldn't kill. Right there. That's a nade right there. Especially because your BAP was low in a lamp and there's like 3 clumped up there. Yeah, you held nade for like 3 seconds too long there, in my opinion. Hopefully your BAP pushes. No. Alright. You still won, but definitely the recognition of your cooldown being available for that nade. You didn't necessarily have to chuck a sleep because it would be a low percentage sleep dart anyways because everyone's all over the place, but I would definitely have thrown a nade 3 seconds earlier. But other than that, like, this is pretty good. We'll guess the rank after chat, but I feel like, what do you guys think so far? That's like, mechanically, it's sound. Look at this. Early alt charge nade. That is so risky. Okay, I don't like the nade like this. Just because you don't know who can pop out of this door. Yeah, you can kind of see through it. But what if like there's like a widow here and they're like, you know what? I don't feel like going this way. Let me just drop down. Oh, what the hell? You're right here. And you get slept. That's such a cheeky spawn nade. I probably would have like... I mean, I mean, anybody can start the game how they want, but I usually just start here and I just throw a nade on either side, like left or right. And I usually hit like one person. Like you didn't get punished here, but like the spawn nade this close is so bad because you got no one else to back you up here. If this hog decides to look at you wrong, like you cross this bridge here, the hog could technically still get in range fast enough to kill you. I don't agree with this nade personally. Oh my god, you almost jumped off too. You scared me.
Take your medicine.
Nice shots. Cheeky sleep on the Rhine, hoping he would drop the shield. You know, I do that sometimes, I'll be honest. Don't recommend it, but I definitely do what you did there quite a bit. You have your nade. I like how you didn't use it for yourself because you're relatively safe. That should have been a response to the sleep dart earlier as it was coming out. That comes with instinct and time, I guess, but like... I like how you didn't use your nade for yourself because you have 149 and like the rest of the team fight's happening here and you have a pick, so you know you can use your nade aggressively and just maintain that 149 health, especially because your other Baptiste is alive. Holy crap, I'm a rap god. That comes down. I know you saw the sniper threat, but that charge sound should have like instantly registered in your mind that you need to sleep to cancel that. Really slow in the response to that, but that's okay. I think he still dies. Okay.
Rendezvous at my position. Group up. Group up at my position. Group up with me. Group up with me.
You can move up here. Because your whole team is taking... So this is a positional error here. Because your team is starting to take this space here around this corner, look how deep they are. You can't stay here anymore. Like this spot, playing these pillars is fine relative to the team fight, where the team fight breaks out around this corner and here. But if your team wins the fight and there's downtime, you have to change positions and still be relative to your teammates because now they're just cutting your sight lines. Your Baptiste is moving up. You got to move up too, in my opinion. If they start backing up, then you have to respond to the context of the fight. If they back up, then you back up. Like, look at it. There's shit happening, and you can't really do anything here. I feel like you don't have to be as afraid here at all. Your Bap is doing like air nades right now. Look at all the shit's happening to your hog. You could be contributing to this. Flanking Rhine. Okay, well. I mean, the best thing that came out of that is that you caught their Rhine coming out here. He's kind of half trolling.
Get back in the fight. My ultimate is ready. Get in there.
Okay, you have Blade. If he dashes out of your LOS, this is actually on you. So that's why you kind of have to move up here a bit. Be careful of that set there to the left. Okay. See, now they're here. Now you back up. Good. You responsibly moved up there. Looking for the Blade. Maybe. Unless this is clean. So I know how like when the team fight naturally was breaking out here, you accounted for like 3 or 4. But you have to be careful of up here. If the team fight comes around here, like my first response is to like play either here, but then that puts you at risk there. So the other option would probably be in here because you get the health pack. And then you cut the sight line of this. I sometimes fall back in here. I don't see a lot of Annas play here, but I think this is a pretty good spot if they come through bridge. Because you get to, yeah, heal yourself. Don't have to worry about the Baptiste. You don't have to worry about a flanker here. But the fact that you like went this way out in the open, like I don't know, if this Pharaoh wasn't here and she decided to randomly like show up here, you're dead. But you guys gotta go for something here. If they get this res off, you go for it. Oh wait, never mind. You can kill 3. No, you kill 4. Now you're good. You're good. I lied. The red is throwing me off. Nice turnaround.
Go. I'll keep you here. Nano boost is ready to deploy.
Once again, team, look, if they're poking aggressively, you don't have to play this scared. Look, you can't help them. You gotta help them. But now they're backing up. Now this position's fine because they're backing up. But in the interim, do everything you can to keep applying the pressure. Don't give the enemies any breathing room. That you couldn't even net. See, you're out of LOS, and this guy bladed without you being there. So that's a big thing. That's the biggest thing I've seen so far. Like, do you ever play those games on Rialto where, like, on attack, it's just you cannot cross this bridge? It's because the enemy team has just so much frontward pressure. Because they're always just harassing you here, and you literally cannot cross here because they hook you off, they're booping you, they're just constantly damaging you. If you were playing up forward, you could just be poking them with your 70 damage rifle, pew pew pew, random nades here and there. Like if they're bleeding, you want them to bleed out. You don't want to be a band-aid. That's a weird metaphor, but you know what I mean. And then you're Genji bladed, and you're out of line of sight to nano him because you're playing super far back there. That's kind of late. Like, I know you're still winning these fights, but like that's just in this one specific game. But any future games, like, you've always got to be ready and respond to that kind of stuff.
This will only hurt first.
Thanks.
60 seconds remaining.
Watching your back.
Justice reigns. Now you're gonna have to retreat a little bit. Get out of shadow range here. I knew that. You could just smell it. That's the game sense. I could just... That Ryan had bad odor. I sniffed that shatter away. The moment he walked up like that, I knew it was coming. Your response there, I guess, the game sense to recognize that, like, he hasn't shattered all day. They're kind of making progress and pushing up. Your response should have been to, like, take a few steps back and play around here to not get shattered. But it's okay. There's just a lot of things. There's so many things happening when you play Overwatch. That's just another thing to remember as well. A lot of people, actually, that's a pretty important tip. A lot of people tunnel vision on an offensive combo, right? They're always just like, oh, we want to coordinate this nano blade, blah, 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 blah. And then they actually tend to forget the enemies can do the same thing. And then they forget the enemies have grab. They suddenly forget they have shatter. Happens to me. I'll lose focus and I'll lose track. Like, you got to alt track, especially as a support main. Even if you don't call it to your team, in your head, those things should be firing. Like I knew that shadow was gonna happen before it even happened, because like I could smell it. You can read the body language too, right? Like, he's just rocking forward. I'm like, oh my god, here it comes. Then you got it. You got shattered.
Keep your head and let's
So
get this home.
anything to do to prevent deaths is big. Might have been a preventable death. Okay, they got one pick here. Yeah, good nade. Okay, reload. All you can do is play this. This is good. I actually like this because you kind of hug the natural curve of the bridge. So if you crouch, you're actually like barely exposing your hitbox, right? From their POV, like, all they can see is like this chunk of you, and they can't see the bottom chunk. I normally default here as well. Sometimes I'll push one of the, either this side or this side, if the payload is literally about to cap and we have nobody else there, but both your tanks are alive, and I like that. You're actually playing it. So this is fine. So
Group up at my
that's good. This ball came for you. Try to sleep him. Nice. Ignore him, ignore him, ignore him. Oh my. Okay. Bap just solo ulted him. Play with the BAP window. Play with the BAP window. Okay, your BAP kind of went for a completely cheeky play here. If he was gonna do it, he should have like windowed it like this, and then you could have made. Do you have an? I guess not. It's too far away. Okay, maybe not. I lied. I was gonna say play it with the window, but BAP has a massive. Yeah, that your Baptiste had ginormous cock right there for that kind of play. Just nano. Dump it. Nice. Yeah, you're safe here. Nobody's threatening you because they're all really tunneled onto killing your tanks. You're totally safe here. Just stay scoped in. I don't want to see a single unscoped shot. It's not necessary. Use that accuracy of the scope. Good. You recognize that. Nobody's looking at you. Yeah, you keep that up. Reload. Yeah, good. Like, I feel you got everything. You know when to stay scoped in. You know the relative positioning here, especially on defense. Only time the biggest takeaway from this is relative to the team fight. It was good for this team fight. During downtime, play with your team. You might have some default positions you're aware of as Ana, but they can always change relative to your team. The biggest thing was like that aggressive pressure here that you weren't playing with or you weren't keeping up with. Everybody asks me, KarQ, can you make a positioning guide? But that's the thing about a positioning guide is like, yes, this is a general position, but it's always relative to your team. And like, while you were good at the start, gotta go there. But other than that, quick scopes were good. Accuracy was good. Maybe there's a time where you on the offense where you could have like threw your nade out, but that's all very minor things. You guys kind of wiped them, so there wasn't too many glaring issues. This one just seemed pretty good overall. Yeah. Did I mention anything else earlier? I mentioned, yeah, it's just mostly, yeah, moving with your team. That's the biggest takeaway I can take from this. Mechanically, I think you're fine. And then just like, I guess mechanically keeping an eye on your abilities. Your movements seem pretty good too. Your jump, quick scoping, maybe a bit more strafing can be added to your gameplay a little bit. And just general awareness of enemy positions. I guess that one time on attack, you forgot that the Winston jumped. But then you told me your teammate called it out. But, okay. But just keep in mind all the relative chokes, where they can come from, your biggest threats. You're lucky they didn't really have too many flankers, so you weren't really pressured this game. So, yeah, I wish I could like say more, but that was pretty clean. Based on the gameplay, that's all I can really say. So, chat, let's guess what the rank is. I think most people are saying Diamond. Diamond. Masters or GM. I'm going to say this specific game was High Masters. If not low GM. I don't think, this is no way this is Plat. This was good. I don't know. This looks like, is Kairos 2 sounds like your Smurf name. So like, tell me the rank of this match and then tell me your actual main rank. All right, go for it, Kairos. Most of the chat is guessing Diamond. Some say Masters. Most people are saying Diamond. You are 4.3k Brig OTP on main, but only a 3.6k Ana on this account. In this game was about 3,500. See, I knew it. I was like, this is Masters. I feel, yeah, exactly. Your awareness was right. It's like there because you played Brig at like the 4k plus level, right? But then like the mechanical stuff on the Ana, like just forgetting to nade. Honestly, like the aim wise was fine. I didn't really see too many issues on the aim. It could be like cleaner, but like relative to this rank, totally. You can totally hit 4k off of that. Brig became shit, so you want to work on the Ana. Actually, that's a good point. Probably because you're so used to playing Brig and you're playing a new hero, you're playing actually too safe. Remember where, actually that's a part I didn't mention. When I said play relative to your team, I actually wanted to point out that you can probably be a lot more aggressive. You can push the limits of your Ana a little bit more. Like, yes, you're in the backline because you're playing Ana and you want to be safe and support, but you could totally be more, you're not being aggressive when it's okay to be aggressive. You're kind of just like one-tricking the passive positioning.
It's Plat Pepega, it's Plat Pepega, it's Plat Pepega, it's Plat Pepega.
A lot of chat thought it was Plat, but yeah. You definitely could have, like, staying alive and being passive was fine in some instances, but again, just being able to move forward and play aggressive when you totally can. Just understanding that sort of the risks you can take. Just probably because it feels like, yeah, you're Brig one trick. That's what you said. So I guess you weren't too comfortable on knowing when you can be aggressive. But the first thing that over time you'll recognize when you can push the limits, but you can definitely DPS a lot more and be aggressive. And I'm just repeating myself a million times. I'm just gonna call it there. Okay, thanks for your submissions. Hopefully you guys found that insightful.